Yo, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back, man. It's been a good week. I hope everybody's been doing well. This is my last day of work. It's Sunday, and I hope everybody's just chilling out, getting recouped with the family, all that good shit. Ain't nothing better than a Sunday afternoon with some good old Darrell Brooks. Now, we're continuing on with the Darrell Brooks trial as usual. We have the priest. Now, the last video we did with Darrell Brooks was prosecution, prosecution was interrogating the priest and he gave his opinion. We're going to go into Darrell Brooks's cross-examination. All right, people. Before we move on, I just got to shout out all the Patreon members. We literally went up like 15 members in the past 3 days. It's absolutely crazy. I posted 2 new videos up there, so if you guys want to go and support, help me do what I do, go follow my Patreon as well, and the link is right there below. I love you guys so much. But anyways, let's get back into this shit.
Do you recall when you knew for sure that you would be testifying in this matter?
I got an official word on October 1st to plan to be here, I believe.
I swear, Brooks be coming with the most offbeat motherfucking questions, bro. When did you know that you were gonna testify? Like, what does that have to do with anything, bro? Like, you don't even know the process of subpoenaing somebody, right? To give a subpoena, right? He probably doesn't even know that full process. So why are you even asking these questions? You're not going to debunk anything. So might as well I don't even know why he's asking questions to the priest, to be honest, of all people. But let's continue.
On last Wednesday.
And to the best of your knowledge, do you have any reason why you would be testifying on behalf of an injured party if you are not an injured party?
Mr. Relevant.
Grounds.
Overruled. May I answer? If you know.
My thought would be that as the pastor, I would have a more wide-ranging kind of knowledge of different people's situations as a pastor, whereas some people might, that's what I would assume, but.
Yeah, no, what he's saying, like, yo, this is my vocation, bro. Like, the pastor knows what's going on with the congregation. I mean, it's 1+1. So, yes, he probably knew some of the other people, but that's not going to taint his testimony. Like, you know what I mean? That's not going to taint anything. The fact that he knew these people just gives better, like, the fact that he knows all these victims just gives better testimony because he personally knows these people. So, yeah, it's not going to...
And you testified to observing quite a few injuries. How can you assess the injuries just by looking at the people?
Can you clarify what you mean by that? Like, what are you getting at?
For example, if I was to see someone injured laying on the ground, I could essentially say, "Oh, it looks like this," but how can I be certain?
You can't be.
That's what it is. So my question is, being that you observed a lot of injuries, how are you able to assess what they were just by looking?
Well, the question mischaracterizes his testimony, so I'm going to ask that you rephrase.
How did you know the injuries just by looking?
It still mischaracterizes his testimony. That's not what he said. He was asked about whether he was aware.
Yeah, that he observed injuries. So how could he know
He observed some, so you need to be specific as what point in
the
time.
injuries that you saw at the hospital? How were you able to say for sure what those injuries were just by observation?
Yeah, so some of it is seeing people at the hospital, and then part of it then is, so there's the immediate seeing people in the hospital, and then there's the later times of seeing people in the hospital or seeing people in other contexts.
Yeah, because if you guys remember, father went and gave his testimony and was like, oh, yeah, he went to the hospital, saw such and such parent. They had this issue going on. They had that issue going on. But remember, this is way later. This is like over a year or something later. So obviously, if you really wanted to know, you could just look into all the injuries for every party, you know, and you would know that. Maybe not at the time, but you know that overall right now. And that's what Brooks is trying to like catch people on, I feel like. He's trying to catch you on like, oh, you didn't know what that injury was at that time. So how can you testify that? Bro, there's something called autopsy reports and there's something called doctor reports, okay? You can read it. You can understand what happened to the person.
So would it be fair to say that you were told those injuries either by medical professionals or...
See what I say by medical profession? Yes. I was told that. What the fuck is wrong with that? Exactly. Now what? Throw the whole case away, right? Because the medical professions are out here trying to get you to go to jail, huh?
or by the people?
Exactly. So if people would say, this is my injury,
Yeah.
I would believe them.
No
If
shit.
they'd be in the hospital, if I see people with crutches, wheelchairs, then I would say that's probably accurate.
But you didn't know for sure yourself.
I love at Darrell Brooks's eyes too, but you didn't know for sure yourself. Okay? Just to get that clear, everybody. You didn't know for sure. Case closed. Case dismissed. Free my ass right now. Free it. Free me. This shit is crazy. I need to be free. And beating on Erica right now. That's what he's saying.
Until you were told.
Just say yes, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not the one diagnosing an injury. I can observe what they say. I can observe what I see, and then if I see people with crutches, wheelchairs,
that's
then
what
I'm
I was
like,
getting at.
there's probably truth there.
Do you know, because you testified to seeing those, some of those people after the incident, would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you know if any of the people you saw after the incident filed any claims in the matter?
Could you clarify by what you mean by claims?
Did they file for to be an injured party in the matter, or did they file for any medical bill support or anything of that nature? To your knowledge, do you recall any of that?
We certainly told as many people as possible to get involved in the Waukesha parade support and other means of help. I can't speak specifically for each person what they did or did not do.
It must be a crazy feeling to know that you caused all of this. That's what keeps crossing my mind. It's like you have all these court proceedings, you have the priest coming up, you have the extreme dance teacher coming up, you have all these people giving life story, you have all these people giving like injury reports and filing claims, as he puts it. All of that because of you. Some tells me that he has to feel bad about that, right? Like, all of this is because of you. One person, one man, all these people. Like, that still kind of racks my brain. I'm like, fuck. You should have just went home and slept it off in your mom's parking lot. One thing I'll say is, man, if you're down in your life, bro, you never know what can happen. Being down is almost better than being up, because being up, you know that something might happen to make you fall. But when you're down and you're all the way down there, there's nothing else but to go up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he made bad choices, bro. Brooks could have been the president. Who knows? He could have did something great. But now he decided to go run people over. Fucking moron.
You explain to the jury what you mean by the support that you are referring to. Was that like a group formed, or was that sort of like an event of a GoFundMe account or something like that? Can you give some clarity on that?
Yeah, there was the Waukesha Parade Fund that was, I think, an international type of thing. There was, our parish had a fund. There were GoFundMes. There were any number of different things. There were, different encounters to allow people to come together and talk about what had happened and seek a start of healing from the emotional part of it.
And by international, that would be assuming worldwide.
No shit.
That'd be fair to say.
Nations and then internations. International. Yes, it's worldwide, you fucking moron. Your boy did not graduate high school. He did not.
Yes.
So it would be fair to say that there were financial interests attached to this incident.
Objection is how it relates to this witness's testimony.
Grounds.
Sustained.
I should try to answer the question.
No, I sustained it. You don't have to answer
Okay.
that.
All right.
You can rephrase, but as it relates to how it was asked in this witness, I'm sustaining it.
Well, it was actually because he referred to some GoFundMe's being set up and anything. So my question was, being that it was a wide-ranging scope by him saying international,
What's your question? I sustained the objection.
was there any financial interests attached to this incident?
Again, I'm going to object for the same reasons before.
Grounds.
It's vague, unclear, overly broad. Sustained is to the form of the question.
Dumb don't know how to rephrase that. And it's like, what do you mean there's financial interest in the case? No, there's not. Yeah, okay, there's financial interest, but this is because people want to help. It's not like they're trying to come up on injury. You know what I mean? All of this is people just losing money. We're giving money because we want to help. That's all a GoFundMe is. People aren't gaining money because of that. It might be a tax break if you like give a shitload of money to a foundation or something, but just regular day-to-day people, please, bro. These were day-to-day people trying to help out the parade, the victims of the parade. Because remember, 7 people are out of here, deceased, right? There's like 40, man, the numbers are starting to, I'm not even sure. You guys let me know in the comments how many people were hit. I mean, how many people were injured. But there was tens of people injured, just ran through. So, yeah, there's no financial interest. There's just people trying to help.
Any idea how much money was raised for the I guess I would say GoFundMe's groups support?
Objection as it relates to this witness's
Grounds.
testimony.
I'll allow it a little bit of leeway as it potentially could relate to bias, not of this witness. He made no claim, but go ahead if he knows. Subject to you following it up with other, I guess, witnesses later on.
I know, so the Catholic community of Waukesha had an opportunity because people wanted to give, and so there was $73,000 that came into the fund that I'm aware of, the Catholic community of Waukesha, that we dispersed in different ways. There's still, I think, $3,000 left. That's for kind of community healing events. What the end of what GoFundMe's reached, what the Waukesha Foundation Fund reached, I don't know. But I know the Catholic community of Waukesha was 73,000. Yeah, the specific, I couldn't say 73 what, but 73,000, I think.
And did that go straight towards the victims to help them in any way?
So an example would be, there are many people that could not work because of being hurt, or they had situations where a loved one was severely hurt,
Yeah,
and they had to be at home or going to the hospitals, nursing homes, and taking care of them. So there was, and I have no idea the ins and outs of, payment of hospital bills and things like that. But I know people were, they could not go to work because of some of these scenarios.
You got this guy running through parades, destroying lives, bro. Like literally destroying lives. Like who knows if people like when you don't go to work, some people can't bounce back from shit like that. You know what I mean? People need to go to work. And at the same time, you have a loved one who just got ragdolled by this asshole. You know, like not cool.
You stated you didn't see the vehicle approaching at the time when it got to where you were. You were. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct. It was very close to me when I saw it.
About how close to you did the vehicle come?
The vehicle was on my left side. I saw it probably, very close to when it was on me, I would say, to my left.
So you were on the right side of the street at that
It was on
point?
the right side of the road.
So it'd be fair to say it was on the opposite side of the road from you.
It was on my left. Where on the left? If you show me a picture of the road, like point to where it was on my left, I could not say that it was on my left.
Did it come pretty close to you at any time when it was passing you?
The car did not hit me. It was on my left.
You referred to it as a car, as you just said. Was it a car? Was it an SUV? What was the...
Bro. Free Darrell Brooks. He found another technicality. The witness just called the SUV a car. Grounds for dismissal. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Free Darrell Brooks. That's what he's waiting for. Nah, bro, it's not gonna happen that way. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, but you're going to jail forever. Imagine going to jail forever. That must be an eerie feeling. That must be next to death. You know, knowing you're gonna die, knowing you're gonna stay there forever. One of those mental health, man, not gonna be doing well in there. I'll tell you that much.
vehicle?
I would describe it as an SUV to be specific.
Any reason why you would say car?
Objection, argument.
Grounds.
Guys, we have footage of a red SUV. Why would he even tackle? Is there any reason why he said car? Was there a car instead? Was there even an SUV there? He's trying to do the whole Mandela effect on us. Like, you know what? I think it was a red car. And now that you think about it, it was like a Toyota Corolla. It wasn't even a fucking Ford. What am I talking about?
Overruled. He may answer.
For me, people that know me, I'm not a car person, so car is a wide-ranging descriptor to me.
Would it be fair to say you wouldn't call a bus a car, though, right?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
That's argumentative, sustained. You don't need to answer that one.
When asked earlier, when you were asked about if you saw anyone else on the ground or something to that effect, you said as time went on, you had observed someone else laying on the ground. Can you explain what you mean by as time went on? Was that a significant time that passed, or a very short time that passed at that point? Do you recall?
My testimony is there were 3 people that were right in front of me, and I really spent time. Father Pat then was taken to the side as he waited for his squad to come. I really stayed with Maria because there weren't a lot of people around there first, so I really kind of focused on staying with her. From looking
In his head, you have to think, right? In his head, you have to think that, oh, these 3 people got hit by a crazy man in the SUV, but he pulled over. Or like, oh, or he left the parade route. Or like, it's just a few of us. And then you start walking and realize, oh, the whole parade got hit. See, that's what's different. That's why I feel like his attention immediately switched to other people, because he didn't expect this to be a rampage. He was like, oh, okay, my people got hit. That's probably the only people that's going to get hit, because when you run into somebody, what do? You hit the brake. So I'm sure that's what he was assuming was going to happen, but no such thing happened.
looking up and waiting, there'd be officers or, different medical personnel, whether they were, I can't say, what type of personnel there were. People would come and check and kind of evaluate. But I could see other kind of pockets of people.
Yep.
Did you give any, or were you interviewed by any law enforcement after that night?
I was not interviewed until getting a subpoena about this particular case.
Do you recall when you received that subpoena?
I can't say a specific date. I can say, after that first one, October 1st was when I got the official, to report, to testify to the case. I can't remember what date it was before that.
Were you in contact with any law enforcement about this incident leading up to the October 1st subpoena that you received?
Not before I talked to the DA that first time.
Oh,
Do
so
you
they really
recall-
didn't call father in until they needed him, you know? I think other people they spoke with and they were gonna do coach him a little bit, like Brooks said. I see what the prosecution's doing here. Yeah, they're all coached. No, but I'm pretty sure the prosecution had contact with a lot of the witnesses, but father just came in at the end.
DA that was?
It was Susan
An opera.
Excuse me.
and Susan.
May the record reflect that there was a right hand gesture towards the prosecution table?
They are clowning on him. May the record reflect that. Yo, this guy, he really feels like he's in like Law and Order right now. He feels like he's that guy.
I believe the witness identified our district attorney, Susan Opper, as the Susan. The record can reflect that.
And was that October 1st time the only conversation you had with Attorney Opper?
October 1st was when I received a notification that I was to report to court. I spoke with Attorney Susan, sometime in the month before. We spoke once.
But in the month before the October 1st subpoena?
So October 1st is when I formally got the subpoena that I was to come in. It would have been sometime in September where I was, notified to come in and talk to the DA. So I talked to the DA once.
And at that time in September, you weren't yet subpoenaed.
I was, how do I say this? This would be a point of clarification in the sense of I believe that I was subpoenaed to come in and talk to the DA. I'm not sure if that's a subpoena or that's what the correct wording is. I was told to come in and.
What's with his smile? Is it a nervous smile, guys, or is it just his personality? Because when I tell you, my boy starts cheesing when them awkward questions come through. I'm like, what's going on, bro? Are you nervous? I think homeboy is nervous a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And talk to the district. I'm not sure if that's a subpoena, but I believe it would be more than.
And I like how he's doing his best to actually answer these bullshit questions. Some of these other, like the Jeff Goldblum guy and a few other witnesses, they didn't even try. They're like, bro, I don't understand you. Bro, I'm not going to rephrase the shit or I'm not going to answer it. Like, they were real blunt with him. This guy, on the other hand, he's so nice. And he's like, oh, let me try to figure out your question. Can you say that again? He's such a nice guy, But fuck Darrell Brooks. He's a dick. He should be mean to him. But, I guess that's the love of the Lord for you right there.
Come in if you want to. I believe it was kind of like you need to come in, not if you want, you can. If not, don't. I'm not sure what the terminology for that is, but that's how I would take it. If that's a subpoena.
No, that's not a subpoena. The subpoena is when you actually get the subpoena paperwork by mail or I don't.
Mr. Brooks, you need to ask a question.
Can I get to
Mr.
it,
Brooks,
Your
you
Honor?
need to ask a question.
No,
Stop
you-
explaining. This is not math class.
Trying to define something, which would be testifying, which you cannot do at this time. So the jury will disregard his last comment, but go ahead and ask a question of this witness. Mr. Brooks, that was inappropriate. Do you have any other questions
Yes,
for this
I do.
witness?
Yes,
Please
I
ask
do.
them.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Please ask them. Your boy is unprepared as usual. It's a beauty. It's a beautiful thing to watch. It's just a train wreck from start to finish.
During your conversations with Attorney Opper in September and October 1st, when you received the subpoena, at that time, were you provided the complaint in this issue?
What do you mean by complaint?
The complaint would be a reference to the charges in this matter. Paperwork that would state the charges.
He's hoping that he understands this question, because if he gets denied another question, I think Brooks is done. I think he's gonna explode and be like, you know what? No more questions. You know, he's praying that that he understands.
Objection back.
Grounds.
Oh, overruled. He may answer if he's able.
I mean, to me, seeing what happened and seeing everyone that was hurt,
No.
to me it was very obvious what this was about.
Did you see at any time any paperwork related to the charges in this incident?
So there'd been the subpoena sheet that would have had your name and any number of different.
What do you mean my name? What are you referring to?
Hey. He does not consent to be called that name. Okay, let's continue.
I believe it would have said Darrell Brooks on it.
Are you aware that I don't identify by that name?
Objection, argument is
Sustained.
sorry.
I would have
is
looked
that-
at him and told him, well, that's who you are. You know what I mean? Just because you don't identify as a maniac that ran through a parade don't mean that that's not what you is, my boy.
That what your subpoena said? Was that the language of your subpoena?
Was that the language of your subpoena? So free me, another technicality. I don't consent to be called that name. That name was on the subpoena sheet. Therefore, this trial is bullshit. Let's go. Let's go beat Erica up, have a good ass evening, smoke a pinky blunt or something, smoke a blunt full of sadness, and continue with my life. No, sir. It's not going to happen, sir. I'm sorry, sir. No, sir. No.
The logistics?
We've been down this road under 90611, Mr. Brooks. You're not, I need you to ask a relevant question to this witness.
That was relevant. He said what was on his
No,
subpoena.
you've talked at length about the subpoena, so under 90611, move on to a new topic, please.
And he plays stupid. Look at those eyes. One little lazy eye on the left, and then his good eye on the right. Just a disgusting weirdo, bro. I swear. And when he tries to play dumb, that's the funniest part. When he tries to play stupid, that shit cracks me up. I swear to God, if I was his cellmate, bro, I would be abusing this man. I would be straight up abusing him, bro. When I tell you, I would just be in there smacking his bitch ass around. Because you already know man, he's not real, bro. He beats women. Any dude who beats women, bro, can't fight. I'm sorry. That's just, if your boyfriend used to beat you, he can't fight. If your girl had us a boyfriend who always beats up women and shit, he can't fight. He get his shit fucked up real quick. I promise you that. Because men who know that they can fight would never touch a woman, because you'll hurt them unless she's a fucking taekwondo expert or some shit. But like,
Are you aware of who the plaintiff is in this matter?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled, he may answer.
I believe that you would be, or excuse me, you're the defendant.
I would be the plaintiff?
Excuse me, at my mind, you're the defendant, I believe.
the plaintiff
The
would
plaintiff
be the
would be-
prosecution. Waukesha. City of Waukesha.
If you know, do you know
It's the city of Waukesha, but like, what? Who the fuck cares?
plaintiff is?
All those who were hurt under the title of the state of Wisconsin.
Or Wisconsin. I thought.
That's how I would identify it.
That's how you would identify it. So, do you know if anybody who was hurt that identified as the plaintiff?
Objection, relevance.
Oh Lord, this guy's trying to. Do you guys understand what he's doing, right? Since the plaintiff is the city of Waukesha, right? It's not any individual person. He's trying to get off with a technicality. He's like, oh no, but no actual person gave the report against me. It was just the city of Waukesha. Is that a person? I think that's where he's going. I would think he's stupid enough to take that route, but let's find out.
I think this witness has testified he's really not sure what the plaintiff is. He kind of guessed. He gave an assumption.
Sustained.
He did.
Foundation.
He did answer the question though.
Sustained. Next question.
He's got a wrinkly head too. Wrinkled up back of his head.
So, to the best of your knowledge, the plaintiff would be the representative of the people.
Objection is relevance.
Sustained. You're now asking him to make a legal conclusion, which I will not have him do. It's also not relevant.
It's also not relevant. And he makes the stink face. Man, if he got a slap for every time he made the stink face, I'm pretty sure his cheek would be bleeding.
Do you know of any injured party who claims to be the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, under 90611, please move on to a new topic.
Are you aware that only an injured party could be the plaintiff in this?
Man, the enthusiasm ain't even there. Are you aware that the only an injured party could be the plaintiff in this situation? Because you know you're bullshit. You know you're lying. You know you're bullshit. You know they're gonna object it, sustain all that, bro. What I tell you? Since the state is the plaintiff, that means it's a technicality. I have to be free. What I tell you guys? I swear, he's stupid. Like. I mean, I guess A for effort, E for effort, whatever the fuck you say, but the effort really ain't that strong. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Incident.
Objection,
Grounds.
relevance.
Sustained also misstates the law.
Also misstates the law.
Mr. Brooks, new topic, or under 90611, I will close the cross-examination.
Damn.
How does that mischaracterize the law? An injured party has to make the
Under
claim.
90611, you haven't asked a question. I will give you one more opportunity. Don't question me. Please ask a question of this witness.
You have one more
The
chance.
jury
Bro.
will disregard his statement as it mischaracterizes the law, and he is not testifying. He's asking questions at this time.
She was about to end that thing. I wanted her to end it. That'll probably
Are you
have.
aware that the state of Wisconsin is an entity and cannot claim to be an injured party in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained. All right. Your cross-exam is now closed under 90611. Does the state have any redirect for this witness?
Briefly.
Go ahead.
Damn, that's crazy. They closed his cross-examination. That's gonna be the title. Hold up. Let me write that shit. Darrell Brooks's cross-examination is closed as he asks stupid questions. That's crazy. I've never seen a cross-examination get closed before. I saw them shut down his closing statements, and they gave him like an hour to talk and rant and just be stupid. She just ended that shit in front of the jury, too. In front of the jury, too. That shit is wild, y'all. But anyways, people, that was the Darrell Brooks. That was your daily dose of Darrell Brooks. Go check out Daily Dose of Internet too. That's one of my favorite YouTubers. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, that was your daily dose of Darrell Brooks. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Keep in mind that Patreon is about to be going crazy, people. I'm gonna be posting on that shit at least twice a week. Like, I'm not lying. Things are changing in my life to where I'm really gonna dedicate a lot of time into this and just really try to grow it to the best it could be. You know what I mean? So follow me on that journey. Support me, people. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. And until the next one, stay inside, stay safe. I love y'all.